We have been stuck with Lumetri Color for years now. Well, that's gonna change because Adobe took Lumetri and tossed it away. Then they stole the color page from DaVinci Resolve and now we have this. Anyway, lots of new stuff in Premiere 26.2 plus beta. The first update is actually in beta, but it's worth mentioning. They are currently working on a color page. Now, you might ask, what happened to Lumetri? You can't find it in the window menu anymore, and the Lumetri panel is actually gone. Luckily, the effect isn't gone, which allows us to open up older projects, and you can still use Lumetri from the effect controls. Let me close that. Anyway, this right here is the color page. All the adjustments you make in here, let's increase the contrast for example, they will be applied to your clip in the effect controls under the color effect. So this has nothing to do with Lumetri Color. Now clearly this is still in beta. I'm sure that even when this comes out of beta, it will still be nowhere near DaVinci Resolve's color page. And I know that because I use it and I even make videos about it. Now the color page in Premiere is kinda cool. At the right, you will find your sequence. When you select a clip, the playhead will jump to the beginning of that clip and it will select it so that the adjustments you'll make will be applied to the selected clip. Another way to navigate is by simply using the playhead in here. That will also automatically select the clip you're on. Very efficient. Now in here, you can choose to apply adjustments to your clip or to your entire sequence. Let me remove the current one. To add an adjustment, click the plus icon and here you can choose from LUT, Style or Adjustment. This will give you the basic color and contrast adjustments. Now using this is pretty cool. You just click a property and then you can freely move your mouse to increase or decrease that property. Also, I love the scopes that appear and disappear automatically. That's very useful in my case. Now what are these buttons right here? If you click them, nothing really changes. That's because the properties are not meant to change, but the zone that those properties are applied to. For example, the globe right here. When that's selected, these changes will be applied to your entire clip. When you pick the second one, which are the shadows, the adjustments will only be applied to the shadows of your video, and so on. You also have highlights, and you can add more zones if you want. Now, I don't want to go in depth too much because I'm planning to make an entire video about it soon, but this is an amazing update, and I can't wait until it's finished. Now, there's so much more to this update, but first I want to show you the Storyblocks plugin. I use it for downloading unlimited stock media without leaving Premiere. Once you found a clip that you want, you just click the download button and boom, it appears in the project panel. The footage on Storyblocks is made by real artists, no AI generated clips like on most stock libraries nowadays. They work with actual filmmakers and artists from around the world. You'll get a high quality human-made stock library of footage, music, sound effects, templates and workflow enhancing tools in one place. So you can focus on telling stories instead of searching across multiple platforms. Everything you download is royalty-free, pre-licensed and ready for personal, commercial and monetized projects. Storyblocks saves members an average of 3.5 hours a week. And not just because of the assets, but also Premiere Pro and After Effects templates that are ready to use. Now, to start telling better stories with the same tools I use, head over to storyblocks.com/Premiere Basics. Thank you Storyblocks so much for sponsoring this video. Update number 2. The sharp and smooth modes in object masks. Edge quality modes control how object masking defines the boundary between your selected subject and the background. You can use sharp mode for high contrast subjects or hard edges, like this car for example, and smooth mode for subjects with a softer edge, such as hair. Let's test it out. Alright, let's grab the object mask tool and it should instantly detect the edge of our talent. There you go. Let me zoom in a little now. As you can see, the hair is masked out, a lot more detailed than in previous Premiere versions. Yeah, I think this is amazing. I removed the background so we can see the mask and it looks great. It does look a little blurry, but that's fine. It's a lot better than a feathered mask. Now, for masking the car, we're gonna use sharp mode and it will instantly detect the car. Alright, so I tracked it and indeed, it looks very good. I think this is just the same masking method as before, it's just called sharp now. Time for number 3. Right here in the source monitor, you can see my video. Now you already know that if you click the audio or video icon, you can switch between the video and audio waveform. Well now, if you click this button, you will see both at the same time. Just a small little update. Perfect. Number 4. The sequence index panel. This one is new and right here you'll find the clips in your sequence. When you click them, the playhead will jump in the timeline to the beginning of that clip. You can also search for clips right here or apply filters if you have a huge timeline. Pretty cool panel, right? You also have this select in timeline button, which will select the clip you clicked in here. Number 5. A global mute button. Yeah, it just does what it says. It globally mutes Premiere. Number 6. There are a few new effects and transitions added from Film Impact. The first one is channel blur. This allows you to add blur to all video channels separately. I love to play with the Surprise Me button. This will help me get unique results. The next effect is called gradient. If you apply it to a color matte or basically any video, you can create and animate gradients. Again, the Surprise Me button from Film Impact is wonderful. I love it so much. Then we have a new noise effect, also from Film Impact. Looks really good. You should definitely try it out. Last but not least, we got 2 new transitions. The slide transition, which is very nice, and the 3D spin back transition, which looks fine as well. I mean, these few effects are pretty basic, that's why I went over them so quickly, but be sure to test them out. I'm sure you'll love them. Alright, that was it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys right here in the next lesson on your left. See you guys right here.